Well, hello to all of you from around the world. I want to thank you for joining us for another edition of Soulivity Today. We're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. By now, you know me. I'm Brian Westley Johnson, and whether you're at home, driving, or even at work, we're always glad you're here with us. You know, it's again the start of a work week and a chance to create new beginnings. And to help you get energized, we have some inspiration for you today as we bring you another Motivational Monday show with news and information to get you motivated in the best kind of way. You know, we have some great stories of another fantastic interview spotlight coming up and some highlights from our latest Health Equity Summit. But before I go any further, I have to introduce my host for today, the lovely Teresa Greco, who is also the host of the Steps to Happiness show, which airs on Thursdays right here at 12 noon Eastern on Soulivity TV. Hello, Teresa. How are you?
Amazing. Good morning.
Amazing. I love that. I love that. I love that. Oh, man. How was your weekend? You know, we haven't talked since last week. So how was your weekend doing?
So here in Canada is Victoria Day weekend. So it is a long weekend here and it's been lovely. We've been lucky that not every year do we have the best long weekend weather, but it has been sunny. It has been sunny every day. Like even today, I was like, oh, wow, even today, it's a beautiful day. So people are getting their gardening done. People
Okay.
up to the cottage. So people are having a good time.
All right. I like that. I like that. You know, so for those that don't know, see, I'm from Detroit. So Windsor's right across the water. So I know what, Victoria Day is all about. Can you tell people really quickly who may not know why you're celebrating this day?
Mhm. So this day commemorates Queen Victoria because Canada's, allegiance with the Queen and with England, and so that is what I understand about is that we're just celebrating old ties with England.
Right.
And we can have a good time because of it.
I
If it's
think
deeper than that, I don't know.
Yeah, Queen Victoria was was she in power when Canada became independent or something like that? I can't remember.
No,
But
so
anyway,
I think that we do on July 1st on Canada Day. I think we
Canada
celebrate.
Day, yeah.
Yeah, that's when
Yeah.
we celebrate our independence.
Yeah.
But otherwise today, I think it's just commemorating that or our British ties.
Yeah, I remember when we were growing up in Detroit, one thing that I loved, and they don't do it anymore. I wish they would do it again, which was we had Freedom Week in Detroit, Michigan, and we would celebrate with Windsor, Ontario. We'd celebrate Canada Day, and then we'd also celebrate the 4th of July. I mean, so they're happening around the same time. So it was like we'd have this big, huge fireworks display and all that kind of stuff, and it was great. It was really, really, really cool. So I wish they would bring that back. I wish they would bring it back. But hey, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Listen, again, Teresa, we got some great stories to tell today. I wanted to start with you with this great story that comes out of the state of Michigan. Actually, not the state of Michigan. It comes out of Georgia, where, according to the Good News Network, a young lady named Madison Crowell always knew she wanted to go to university, and her parents were all on board making it happen. Well, throughout her later high school years, they would regularly send admissions applications to various schools, some nearer to their home in Liberty County, Georgia, some much further away. Well, check this out. When it came time to make the big decision, one might say she had the pick of the litter because not two, not three, but you ready for this? Drum roll. 231 different universities and colleges had sent her acceptance letters, bundled in which were various scholarships totaling $14.7 million. Check this out, everyone.
Hey, parents, listen to the story we want to tell you. An amazing young woman, that young woman from Hinesville, is graduating with confidence. She was awarded nearly $15 million in scholarships. $15 million. WJCL 22 News' Andy Cole spending the day in Liberty County, learning how she did it and, more importantly, where she's headed to next.
There's a Stevenson and Mercer, which is in Macon.
Madison Crowell's got a lot of options.
There's Drake and there's Kennesaw State here at the bottom.
Believe it or not, these are only some of the hundreds of college acceptance letters she's received.
Years ago, we started this process of, looking into schools, saying, hey, what schools do you like? What are you looking to do with your life?
Madison says it really ramped up for her last summer. She and her parents created a spreadsheet they called the War Board, tracking her applications, making sure nothing fell through the cracks. Whatever they were doing worked. Madison received nearly $15 million in scholarships.
It's great. I walk around school and everybody's always congratulating me, but then I also have to remind people that, I'm just like you guys. I'm just another student.
Just another student who was honored on Capitol Hill.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the outstanding achievements of Liberty County High School senior Madison Crowell.
Madison is now giving back, hosting workshops for rising seniors in her area, showing them that millions in scholarships isn't too far out of reach. And in August, she'll be attending High Point University with dreams of getting her doctorate in physical therapy, serving underrepresented communities.
I'm just ready to see what the next chapter has in store for me in a whole new state with a whole new population of people. So I'm ready to see what, High Point has for me.
We are too. In Hinesville, I'm Andy Cole, WJCL 22 News.
Now, Teresa, she had some great advice for high schoolers that are entering that transitional period, or, that 11th and 12th grade, reminding them to take time off from the application process for some R&R to avoid burning out, to stay organized. She and her mom plugged all scholarship and university information into a spreadsheet to keep track of pending applications, accepting ones, and rejected ones, all with relevant contact information. She also said this last piece of advice, where she shared it is to stay positive about the whole process and not let one rejection, even of the biggest schools, to be the end of your search or your positivity. Isn't that fantastic?
Yes, and I love that piece of advice because my daughter graduated from university this April and then had applied to two different law schools, regional ones. She didn't want to go far away from home for school, so she wasn't successful because law school is just like incredibly competitive with under 10% that get accepted compared to the number of applicants. Her application was very strong. So things are fierce, things are stiff, but it's important to remember that, when we do try for things that, it doesn't mean that we fail and we don't get back up and try again, that these situations help us to build resilience, help us to build coping skills when things don't work out. So I think her advice is a good one, to remember that just because you get a no in one time or in one area doesn't mean that it shuts us down and we don't continue to pursue our dreams and aspirations.
Thank you for that. I was also thinking this too, Teresa. It's like, what a beautiful gift that her parents helped her to cultivate, which is this process to planning to succeed, right? Apparently, they had identified all these different colleges. They were going to get started early. She had already written like her essays and stuff like that, and get that together. And so, even if she had applied to half of the schools, she still would be far ahead of the game, right? And again, she could choose the college that best suited her and her future, not just pick the top school, right, to go to, even though that school may or may not have the program that you really want to go into. So, there's a picture of her that's there. It's in the video, but it's there. I'll also put the article from Good News Network in there as well. But there's a picture of her with all the logos of all the colleges on a wall behind her. She got accepted to places like Pitt and Albion and Michigan, and all these different schools. And she could choose where she wanted to go based upon her dreams. So I thought that was really cool too.
I like that. I like that perspective about, all the planning and time and effort that went into it beforehand. That, the things that are important to us should take that amount of effort. It's not just a
Right.
flyby type of thing. And so
Mm-hmm.
good for her for putting all the time and effort in, because people just want to look at the end result all the time and say, oh, wow,
Yeah.
must be nice, right? That's what they say. Meanwhile, the must be
Right.
nice, the people that have the success that we're looking at, it's not an
Mm-hmm.
overnight thing. It's because they have put a lot of time and effort into achieving the things that we're giving the accolades for, right? All the professional athletes. You know how much time and
Exactly.
practice goes into becoming someone of like that level? So
Mm-hmm.
we thank you so much for like pointing that out, because that's super important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here she has a dream where she gets to go into the program that she wants to do so she can give back to her community. More than likely, that school is probably offering her a full ride for her undergraduate school. Who knows where she's going to go for graduate? But my guess is she's using the same process for that. So way to go, Madison. Listen, everybody, we're going to take a quick break. But don't worry, we've got more coming up. We've got a great interview with LYLLY, supermom and DIY craft expert, who is going to be sharing the latest mom's must-have coming up. So stay tuned. Don't miss the Institute of Noetic Science 19th International Conference.
The whole system's in the process of breaking down, but at the same time reconstructing itself. You can see all sorts of examples of people getting together in new kinds of communities with very different value emphasis.
What we need is one fundamental global mind change, and all of the problems become much more solvable than they were before.
Introducing Beyond, a global mind change in action. Join us online for the first ever IONS virtual conference for 4 days of possibility, inspiration, and transformation. Discover cutting-edge science and practices to expand consciousness and human potential. Engage with visionary scientists, spiritual teachers, and innovators, along with thousands of noetic explorers in an immersive and easy-to-use digital platform. Experience one-on-one networking, roundtable discussions, concurrent sessions, an interactive exhibitor hall, and spaces to connect with members of the IONS global community. Join us as we come together to expand our awareness, transcend limitations, and manifest a world that supports all beings. Together, we can go beyond and embody a global mind change in action.
If we're going to survive as a civilization, we have to think beyond where we are at this moment.
For more information about ION's 19th International Conference, visit noetic.org/beyond now.
Are you a business owner looking to expand your reach and revenue to a perfect community? Being a Soulivity Today radio sponsor puts your business in front of hundreds of thousands of customers every week, and it's affordable too. For about the cost of a cup of coffee and snack each day, you can reach ideal people looking for your product or service. Our weekly 53-minute program airs on weekdays at 8:00 a.m. Eastern and Pacific times, with real conversations about the people, places, and topics that are part of our everyday life. A perfect opportunity for you. So click the link below and learn how you can expand your business marketplace today by becoming a Soulivity Today radio show sponsor. And for a limited time, special rates are being offered, so don't delay.
You know, we're back to Soulivity Today. The best advice where most moms get is usually from other moms. And joining us today is super mom and craft expert LYLLY, who is here to share her timely tips and must-have products for parents. LYLLY is the founder of Creative Living with LYLLY and has been featured on 500 segments on shows like Good Morning America, Hallmark Home and Family, and HSN. So happy to have you here with us, Lynn, and sharing these must-haves.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Brian, I've got lots of fun tips, and I know you're a dad too, so I'm sure you know the best advice comes from dad to dad, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So my first question is, why is it so important for parents to support one another?
Well, like we just said, the best advice comes from parent to parent. So as a mom and craft expert, I quickly learned that moms love to share with other moms, whether it be a craft project, a kid's activity, or a product that they know and trust. Having a mom tribe is definitely important. And today I'm going to recommend some of the products that I know and love and some great tips for summer coming up.
Absolutely. Woo, this is going to be so much fun. What's an important tip for taking care of our little ones?
Okay, so Brian, I've got some little ones. I've got a 3.5-year-old, and unfortunately, she is not potty trained yet. So definitely provides some problems, but she also has very sensitive skin. So we use, and I recommend, Huggies Skin Essentials diapers. They protect against the top 2 causes of rash by managing moisture and runny mess. This diaper is part of the new Skin Essentials collection that's dermatologist approved and designed to keep skin clean and healthy from baby to big kid. The new Skin Protect liner within the diaper helps absorb moisture and lock away that runny mess from baby's skin. They're 100% leak-proof and engineered with Huggies Blowout Blocker, and they're free of fragrance, parabens, and elemental chlorine. Let me tell you, Brian, since I've started using these with my 3-year-old, we have seen such a result in her skin, and they work great. And we've tried that Blowout Blocker, and it definitely works.
Well, I know I'm going to pass that on to my son with his grandbaby. She just turned 2 a couple of months ago, so I know it's going to be good for him.
Perfect.
Now, now I know with her, being around other little kids, she's in the terrible too, she gets sick a lot. What are some go-tos for sick kids?
Yes. So I've got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. So we get sickness all the time in our house. So the one thing I recommend is check your medicine cabinet regularly. You want to make sure that you get rid of expired products and then stock up so that when your kids are sick, you're ready. And when my girls are sick, I highly recommend #1 pediatrician recommended pain and fever relief brand, Children's Tylenol Dye-Free Cherry Liquid. For children ages 2 to 11, it works in as little as 15 minutes. It safely relieves a child's minor aches and pains, including fever, sore throat, and headache. And children's Tylenol is free of dyes, parabens, and high fructose corn syrup, and it comes in a kid-friendly cherry flavor. And right now, moms, we love discounts. You can use the promo code Tylenol20 on Amazon to get 20% off. And I'll tell you, that is the brand I turn to anytime my girls are sick.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I will pass this on as well.
Yeah, another one to pass on to your son.
I know. I'm loving. He better love me for doing this segment. I really, really do. Are there any other helpful suggestions that mom needs to know from your perspective?
Yes. So with summer right around the corner, we're going to spend a lot of time in our car, whether it's driving kids to camp or activities or going on road trips. So I like to be prepared in the car. Get a car caddy and fill it with essentials. So you want to be prepared if you've got a mess that happens. I've got one child that gets car sick. So having paper towels, wipes, a trash bag, all those essentials in your car all the time. Plus you want to have the boredom busters, crayons, coloring books, screen-free activities so that your kids can stay engaged and entertained and you can drive safely.
I love that. Oh, that's going to be so great. Now we're going to be taking our little grandbaby out during the summer. What is your must-have summer inspiration?
Okay, so at Creative Living with LYNN, I have come up with so many different crafts and activities for kids, even as young as 2, all the way up till adults. But I've got some great stuff for the kids. They get outside, you can do a nature scavenger hunt, or make fun crafts with things that you find around the house. So teaching them about recycling young through making craft projects is a great idea.
Ooh, I'm loving this. Oh, this is so great. You have such great ideas, LYNN. Wow, this is great.
Thanks,
Now, where
Brian.
can we, absolutely, where can we go for more information?
You can head to tipsontv.com for everything I shared today.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with us here on Soulivity Today and sharing these great tips that I can pass on to my son so he can have a lot of fun over the next few months, especially in the summer with our grandbaby. Thank you again, LYNN.
Yes. Oh, thanks, Brian. Have a great summer.
Hey, hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoy the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life. For more information about Aspire Academy by Soulivity, visit aspire.soulivity.com today. Don't miss the Institute of Noetic Science 19th International Conference.
The whole system's in the process of breaking down, but at the same time reconstructing itself. You can see all sorts of examples of people getting together in new kinds of communities with very different value emphasis.
What we need is one fundamental global mind change, and all of the problems become much more solvable than they were before.
Introducing Beyond, a global mind change in action. Join us online for the first ever IONS virtual conference for 4 days of possibility, inspiration, and transformation. Discover cutting-edge science and practices to expand consciousness and human potential. Engage with visionary scientists, spiritual teachers, and innovators, along with thousands of Noetic explorers in an immersive and easy-to-use digital platform. Experience one-on-one networking, roundtable discussions, concurrent sessions, an interactive exhibitor hall, and spaces to connect with members of the IONS global community. Join us as we come together to expand our awareness, transcend limitations, and manifest a world that supports all beings. Together, we can go beyond and embody a global mind change in action.
If we're going to survive as a civilization, we have to think beyond where we are at this moment.
For more information about ION's 19th International Conference, visit noetic.org/beyond now. Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today for a Motivational Monday. And back with us is Teresa Greco. Hey, Teresa. This next segment is like a heartfelt one. Part of the reason why we're committed to doing our health equity for all initiative, which is called Bridging the Gap, is that everyone we believe is inherently worthy of life, love, and healing. And this should be regardless of their diagnosis, their appearance, their socioeconomic status, their background, or even their ability. And this is especially true when it comes to mental health care and mental health. You know about it, Teresa. Our last healthcare summit emphasized this aspect of being more than enough. But we also included the importance of community and society. So here's some highlights we wanted to share with all of you from our esteemed panelists from this health forum.
Say this with sincere humility. I spend a lot of time in rooms with very important people, whether they are legislators, pastors, lawyers, leaders of law enforcement agencies. I sit in a room with a lot of people, and I am very comfortable in those rooms because I have a strong sense of self. The other is I work really hard to have a knowledge level that prepares me to sit at the table with those people. Again, I sit there with judges, prosecutors, and to be able to do what I do, I have to have a strong sense of self. I'm going to go back a little bit to, I worked for United Parcel Service for almost 20 years. And I remember when I went into sales, my first sales manager asked me a question. He said, "Do you want to be good or do you want to look good?" And he said, if you are good at what you do, you never have to worry about looking good because it will always shine through. And I've carried that with me for the last 40 years because I want to be good. I want to be good at what I do. I want to be respected for what I do. And as a result of that, I receive that respect. And that doesn't matter if I spend a lot of time with young people. I spend, again, a lot of time with very important people as we see them in our society. But I'm always comfortable in that space because I work to be good at what I do and to bring value to the communities that I serve. And that's paved the way for me.
And I want to start with the opportunity to empower parents to instill self-worth at home. And which is one of the things that we were able to do when we did workshops for parents to empower parents. I believe self-worth, and we've already heard examples already of it happening with Keith and the pastor. And that is my favorite thing to do in terms of that first step to empower people in the community is to empower the parents at home, whether the parents are together or whether they're together under the same roof. And just a basic skill, a basic opportunity to provide for every person in the household to feel valued because they feel seen, they feel heard, and they feel understood. And when people have that experience, then they're in a position to see other people, to hear them, to understand them. And so when you take that up into the community, you become a resource as you explore other resources, talking about how can we work together to address the lack of access in inequities. And so since we have that foundation, we can explore together because we are working in harmony at home and in our community. I think that is the first step.
Every year we invest about $125,000 in Detroit, Pontiac, Flint, and Saginaw. We do that through a basketball tournament. The reason why we invest in basketball because we use recreation to lead our young people to education. So we scholarship approximately 30 children every year to Rochester Christian University. And what we've come to find is many of our children are undereducated because of the racist idea that our kids can't be educated. A lot of our parents don't get empowered because of the racist idea that Black men aren't in the home. That can't be true because CDC shows that out of all the men that have the most interaction with their children is Black men, as it pertains to changing diapers, as it pertains to spending time with them. So it's not that Black men aren't in the home, right? Just because a Black man and a woman isn't married, that doesn't mean that a Black man isn't engaged with his child. So what I begin to realize is once we tear down these racist ideas as it pertains to our children being able to learn, once we cast down these racist ideas that there are no Black men in the home, then we can empower our parents. I have the privilege and honor of working with a parent group in Pershing, have the privilege and honor of working with parent groups in elementary schools and middle schools, specifically Burns Elementary School and Middle School. And we have a dad group of about 50 men. And these men are engaged with their children. Only thing they need is what we're advocating for is a PTA or a PTO. I believe that being able to make sure that our parents have those PTAs and PTOs, that gives them a mechanism to get the funding that they need to be able to resource their children. And adversely, I believe that we need to build our own institutions, just like my Caucasian colleagues have schools like Hillsdale, right? Where you have these schools that don't depend on a dollar from the government and they're able to do what they need to do in their own communities. I believe that we as Black Americans, we need to begin to galvanize our own resources to make sure we can build our own institution. We don't have to depend on any government funding.
Woo! What do you think, Teresa?
Yeah,
Powerful
lots
stuff,
of good
right?
points there. Yeah, lots of good points.
It was such an amazing day. We went for about an hour and 15, 20 minutes or so, talking about various aspects of this concept, right, of more than enough, which I think for a lot of people, it means a lot, but we don't talk about it enough, right? And so I was glad that we were able to tackle this during this session because you had Kevin Fisher, who is the executive director of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, their Michigan chapter. Here's a man who lost his son to suicide because of mental illness and because of stigma from some friends and some family. You had Melva Johnson, who's a psychotherapist. You've seen her on this show, on our show, talking about the family dynamic, right? Empowering parents to create and nurture, kids who are also empowered because of that. And then you had Pastor Lorenzo Sewell, who talks about how community can rally, right? I mean, it's all these beautiful aspects. And when they come together, everybody feels as though that they're worthy, that they have a high self-worth, high self-esteem, which is like a really important step to not just life and living, but also this concept of, listen, if you need support, if you need to go out and get support in terms of your mental health, you're worthy to do that. That you don't have to feel stigmatized from people who talk about, you or whatever, or that you think you're crazy or whatever. You don't need to see nobody, that kind of thing. and that they throw that off and go get the help that they need. So it was a really powerful experience, both as a moderator and as just someone who's committed to doing all this work. So yeah, it was great. It was really great. Any thoughts from you before we move on?
Good job. It's important for people to recognize that we're all creating the reality that we live in. We all, we have, I like to look at it as our own like personal happiness bubble, that we're in an invisible bubble, like a soap bubble that we can see in and out of. But the life that we live, we're creating in that bubble. And so when we feel empowered in that bubble, when we feel, as Kevin was saying, confident and sure of yourself, the experience you're going to have in the world reflects that. But when we feel insecure and we feel like, if we are going through some challenges, that the world is, looking at us in a particular way and they're going to make us feel uncomfortable to get therapy. Well, guess what? The world's going to reflect that. And all of a sudden your friends and family are like, wow, that's a weirdo if you need to go. But all they're doing is reflecting the feelings that you're actually projecting outward. So the experience that we're going to have living is always the one that we are creating moment by moment. So I'm realizing this more and more in my life, that what I perceive, what I choose to reflect outward is the experience that I'm constantly going to have. So this is a very empowering idea and concept. And so I think that I invite people to understand that we're going to live the life that we are creating. We think people are going to be uncomfortable and racist and weird and whatever towards us. That's what we're going to encounter. It's whatever we put out, Brian. That's what we're going to get back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Just want to invite everyone to watch the entire video of our panel last week by going to Bridging the Gap, our initiative page. That's soulivity.com/bridging the gap today. Really, really important stuff that's there. And I can't wait for people to really enjoy what we're doing and the other amazing panels that we're going to have in the very near future. So thank you for your thoughts, Teresa. I really appreciate your thoughts as well. Listen, everyone, we're going to take another quick break. But when we come back, we're going to hear some much needed motivation and inspiration from Academy Award winning actor Denzel Washington. You don't want to miss this. So we'll be right back.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Join us every weekday at 8 a.m. for Soulivity Today.
Whether you're just starting your day or on the road,
Soulivity Today will make your days better.
We will empower you with authentic conversation about the latest news and trending topics. Plus, you won't want to miss our interviews with industry experts.
So sit back, relax, and get ready for a whole lot of fun.
Soulivity Today, weekdays at 8 a.m. only on KMET 1490 AM radio and ABC News affiliate.
Are you ready to take that first step towards true, unwavering inner happiness? Are you like thousands of people who have everything they need, not want, but need, and still can't seem to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives? If so, the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, you will learn about the principles and practices that lead to true inner happiness. Because guess what? It isn't found in our external environment, but within ourselves instead. Together with my guests, we will explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices. And together, we'll advise you on the actionable steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. So I invite you to join me each week on Soulivity TV on the Steps to Happiness show with me, Teresa Greco.
Hey, we're back with more here on Soulivity Today for a Motivational Monday show, where we're bringing you some inspirational stories from around the world to help you get energized and motivated for the rest of your week. And back with me is my beautiful co-host, Teresa Greco. Teresa, I know you love inspirational and motivational videos and reels and all that, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
do. With all the stuff that comes out like on a daily basis, I find that sometimes it's good to go back in time and receive some words of wisdom that were happening at a special time, and those pearls that we sometimes forget about that are so relevant to today. And I wanted to share with you and our audience one of these moments, specifically for today's Motivational Monday show, to give you a little pep, put a little pep in your step. Now imagine, this is the year 2017, and you're at the 48th NAACP Image Awards. And you're witnessing this amazing moment where renowned actor Denzel Washington is accepting the Best Actor Award for his portrayal of Troy Maxson in the movie adaptation of August Wilson's Fences. Check this out and take it all in.
I am particularly proud and happy about the young filmmakers, actors, singers, writers, producers that are coming up behind my generation. In particular, Barry Jenkins. Young people understand this young man made 10, 15, 20 short films before he got the opportunity to make Moonlight. So never give up. Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy. If it was easy, there'd be no Kerry Washington. If it was easy, there'd be no Taraji Henson, P. Henson. If it were easy, there'd be no Octavia Spencer. But not only that, if it were easy, there'd be no Viola Davis. If it were easy, there'd be no Michael T. Williamson, no Stephen McKinley Henderson, no Russell Hornsby. If it were easy, there'd be no Denzel Washington. So keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
See you at work. I'll see you at work. How powerful is that?
So powerful. I love that. With consistency and commitment. That's how we get it done, Brian. Consistency.
Absolutely.
And that's you with consistency and commitment. You plug away at Soulivity of all the aspects. I'm going to cry now of all the aspects of Soulivity. The magazine, the morning show, our individual shows. and how you extend yourself into the community and other organizations with commitment and dedication. You
I
do
didn't
that
plan this,
and
everybody.
heart.
I didn't
No,
plan
we
this.
didn't. I didn't plan on it too, but
Oh, man.
the universe does it to us in just such a way. But that's you. You are definitely an example of everything that Denzel just shared with us. So I applaud you and I commend you and I thank you for all that you do for us here at Soulivity and for the world at large, Brian, because you are that. Thank you.
Wow. I will receive that. Even though I'm getting emotional, I will receive that. Thank you. All of you are mirrors for me. All of you exemplify everything that Denzel was saying too in your own ways. I love the fact that he said, and again, once you commit yourself to doing this work and making forward progress, you'll really understand what he meant at the end of the video where he's saying ease is the greatest enemy to progress than hardship. You really understand that because everything is not easy. You can have some ease, peace, and grace as you're doing the work. And there is going to be things that are going to challenge you along your journey. And so understand that, let that be, let it be part of it. It's part of growing and expanding and evolving. And take it one day at a time, one moment at a time. Again, Teresa, you and the rest of the Soulivity family are also exemplifying all that as well. So kudos to you and the rest of the team as well, because that's, again, you guys are doing it too. Highly recommend that everyone, keep this video or go to that video site and keep those words from Denzel kind of close for when you need them. Because it reminds me that, we may have challenges, we may have fears, but we also have the capacity to overcome those fears and challenges. And you know what that means? That means you're courageous. And so we all have the ability to be courageous in creating the life that we want. So I'm going to end there. Teresa, why don't we get to, while we have time, why don't we get to some great shameless plugs? We talked about the fact that you are actually writing a foreword to a book for the person that created 6 Weeks to Mental Freedom. We only got about a minute to do this, but can you tell people about this fantastic program as well as what they can expect?
Yes, it's a science-backed program. I was a part of the science, and so I could attest to the efficacy of this 6-week program that is designed to give you tools every week to get to a place of mental freedom within yourself, whether you're working through day-to-day situations or issues from the past. In just 6 weeks, you will have the tools to work through, process, heal, and let go from those situations. It is an incredible program used in a variety of different settings by a diverse group of practitioners around the world. It's an incredible program. I feel honored to write the foreword to her book, introducing the program to the reader, and being able to offer it here on this platform, I think is incredible. So I invite people to take a look. I invite people to grab hold of their life, because that's what I feel like that is a big theme of our show today. And That's what this program does. It allows you to be in the driver's seat of your life, creating the reality that you want to have moment by moment, and mental freedom helps us to achieve that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Teresa. And just to let everybody know, we don't put out programs and services and stuff like that just because, quote unquote, we offer these things because we know that it will help you get those tools and be able to manage and overcome experiences that you're going to have on your journey. And so highly recommend that you go to soulivity.com/Teresa Mental Freedom today and sign up for this program while it is at a really affordable price. So that, again, that is soulivity.com/Teresa Mental Freedom. That's all one word. Go there now. Teresa, thank you for being here and sharing your light and your love and all that kind of jazz. It's important for me that people receive that, specifically on a Monday when everybody's typically like blah, like Mondays are always like like another work week. And so here's something to help people begin anew, and here you're sharing your light and your love with folks. So thank you. Appreciate you. As always.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel honored and blessed to be here, to be part of the team, to be working alongside you, and to be supporting your mission, which is also my mission, to help make the world a happier place with people living their passion and purpose.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, so to that note, we want to thank all of you for being here for this edition of Soulivity Today. Again, this is how we do it every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern for our live stream on all the Soulivity TV channels, including our website. But you can also listen and watch us on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. For all of you guys out on the West Coast, that begins at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Again, that's KMET 1490 AM radio at 8 a.m. Pacific. So again, thanks for being here, and we will see you next time.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly